I know I sound like a cliche starting a weight loss journey on the first day of a brand new year, but I didn't plan it that way. It just kind of worked out that way by itself. It all started a few months ago. I set myself a 30-day health and fitness challenge, and that didn't really go as well as I'd hoped. But I did learn quite a few things about myself, and I now feel ready to tackle a full-on weight loss journey. I've got all the information set, I've got all the plans, I know what I'm going to do. Decided to share it with you. And as you can see, it's a beautiful day outside, so I'm going to grab a coffee, sit down, and let's get started. Okay, here we go. Quick introduction for those of you who are new to my channel and new to me. I'm Karen, obviously. This is my channel. I live just north of Brisbane on the east coast of Australia. And I've been doing YouTube for about 4.5 years at this stage. I've mostly done DIY home maintenance how-to type of videos, but I've run out of jobs, which is fantastic. And now it's time to do fun stuff. I'm doing vlogs and just fun entertainment videos. And I'm also focusing on myself, which brings us to today, where I have decided to go on a weight loss journey. It's long overdue. I've been thinking about it for too long and doing nothing about it for too long. And today's the day. Let's go. My goal is to lose 20 kilos over the course of the year, and that equates to about 400 gram loss per week, which is slow, manageable, achievable, and maintainable. Now, I know a lot of people will be saying, oh, that can be done a lot faster and blah, 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 but I've got other factors to consider. Obviously, I'm old and I'm fat, but I have a chronic pain condition called fibromyalgia. I struggle with social anxiety, and I am quite often prone to getting vertigo and lightheadedness, and those things all work together. So if I upset the balance of one, the whole system goes to shit and I get very unwell. I end up in pain flares, all sorts of things go wrong. So it's important for me to not overdo it so that I can keep everything in balance. I would rather take my time and get it right and keep it maintainable than rush into something and fail and be miserable again. So slow and steady wins the race. I'd like to set a good example and say that I'm losing weight for my health. It's good for my heart health. It's going to lower my blood pressure, improve my mental health, improve my strength and my mobility as I'm getting older. But the truth is, I'm going on this weight loss journey because I want to look good. That's the cold hard truth of it, and I'm not ashamed of it. We all want to look good. And the thing is, I'm happy. I am very happy. My life is good. I feel good. I feel well. Generally, I feel well. But the thing is, how I feel on the inside doesn't match what I see when I look in the mirror. That person in the mirror is fat and unattractive. I'm hoping the neighbours can't hear me over the fence, but that's the truth. That's how I feel. I feel fat and unattractive when I look in the mirror. But if I don't see myself, I feel amazing. I feel wonderful and I love my life and I'm super happy. So my goal with this weight loss is to make myself look on the outside as good as I feel on the inside. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do this as simple as I possibly can. I've got my notes. I will refer to my notes a lot, so just bear with me. And look, I've actually got a bit of a confession to make. I'm not one for making these sit down, I call them talking head videos. I don't make these types of videos. I'm usually an out there, active, doing stuff video kind of person. So making a video like this is quite daunting for me, and I'm feeling very nervous sitting here. And not only am I nervous making this type of video, I'm nervous because I'm really putting myself out there, warts and all, fat and jiggly bits exposed for everybody. Not actually, because I'm not going to show you the fat and jiggly bits, but figuratively speaking, my jiggly bits are out there to be scrutinised by the world, and I'm feeling pretty vulnerable about it. But that's the whole point. That's why I am doing this. So now that I've got that off my chest, how am I going to do this? Okay, the first and obvious thing is I'm going to eat healthy food. I'm going to count my calories, make sure I stay in a calorie deficit, and I'm going to monitor my macros. They are your fat, carbs, and protein. To do it, I will be using a Fitbit app on my phone. I'm using that because I've had it for years. I know how to use it. If you don't have access to a Fitbit app, there are lots of free calorie counting apps that you can get on your phone. And if you're not very technologically minded, you can just get a book and use a notepad and pen and count your calories that way. You do need to weigh everything, record it, and make sure you don't go over your daily limit each day and stay in a calorie deficit. That's it. Oh, and the important thing is that there are no food restrictions. I'm allowed to eat whatever I want. The choice is always going to be mine, what food goes in my mouth. And that's important. The second thing I'll be doing is drinking my minimum of 2 litres of water every day. I do that most of the time now anyway, it's not a problem, but I want to just include it because being successful at something is going to help me be successful at other things. And the third thing is I'll be doing regular exercise, which again I do, but not as often as I should, and I'll go really good for weeks and then I'll do nothing. So my goal is to make it more consistent. I will be mostly walking because I enjoy walking. I used to go to the gym years ago and I love the gym, but I find that with my fibromyalgia, I can't do enough at the gym to justify the cost of a membership. And also with my social anxiety, I struggle with so many people at the gym and I really don't enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you won't do it. So I quit the gym and my goal is to just walk. I will walk 3 or 4 times a week, obviously more if I want to. If the weather's bad, if it's raining or it's too hot, or I just don't want to go outside because it's the weekend and there's lots of people around, which is quite normal, I will do a video on YouTube, an aerobics video, an indoor walking video, something like that. There are so many options. So that's the walking. I will also be doing a small weights session 3 or 4 times a week. Again, more if I choose to. I will make it up as I go, adjust it each week to keep it interesting, but a small weight session for arms and things like that. And the other thing is, I'm making sure I haven't forgotten anything before I get to this one. The other thing I want to do is, this is purely for fun. It's not purely for fun. I want to do a plank every day as part of my exercise routine. But rather than doing it 3 or 4 times a week, the plank will be getting done every day. It's 1 minute, 1 plank. That's it. And then I sort of got all over enthusiastic and I thought, I'm going to do a plank every day for the year. 1 plank every day for the whole of this year. That's my goal. I have set a reminder in my phone. It says, have you planked today? So I don't want to forget. So that's going to be a good thing. But I have a question and I'd like your input in it. If you go over to my community page on YouTube, I have put a poll there and it's asking, if something was to happen and I miss a plank that day for, I don't know, things happen, you've got to be real. If I miss a plank that day, can I do 2 the next day to make up for it? That's my question. I'm not sure whether that's cheating or whether it's an okay thing to do. I would like your opinion. So if you go over to my community page, vote on my poll and let me know what you think. So that is all the exercise out of the way. And to also keep myself on track, I've got this diary. I was trying to invent something in my mind and print it out just so I could monitor my progress. But I was down at Kmart. Is my cup in the way, taking up the whole screen, I just realised. And I was down at Kmart and I picked this up for just a few dollars. And what you can see is it is a self-care diary, but it's going to work perfectly for my tracker. I can plan my exercise schedule, track my habits, focus on a particular thing each week, and I can see where I'm going well and where I need to make improvements. That's a full year page in the front. I'm going to use that to track my planks every day. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've already crossed off the first one. I printed out a little grid. So the beginning of each quarter, I'm going to physically measure. That's not something I normally do, but measure bust, arms, hips, thighs, waist, and record that. So each quarter I will see some progress there. And on each week I've printed out little motivational things. Believe in yourself, just little motivational things that I've stuck on each page to give me a little bit of encouragement. So I'm actually really pleased that I found this. I think it's going to be very, very helpful. So that's my plan. That's my plan. No fancy tools, no expensive memberships, no gadgets, no insane workout routine, no food restriction, just doing it smart. So yeah, obviously I've done weight loss before. Years ago, I actually lost a lot of weight and I kept it off for many years until I got sick. I got my fibro. I developed a lot of other problems between depression, anxiety, physical problems with the fibro, and just life in general, and medication. I put all the weight back on. Not making excuses, just sort of giving you a bit of a background. And since then I have tried to lose the weight quite a few times, and it starts off okay, but it doesn't last, and then it all goes back on and it's hard. So you're wondering, why am I feeling so confident this time? It is because I mentioned earlier about that 30-day health and fitness thing that I planned for myself. I learned a lot during that. And the first thing that I learned was that I don't like the word challenge. Calling it a health and fitness challenge, or in this case a weight loss challenge, I don't like the word challenge. I think it's a very aggressive word. When it's a challenge, it implies that you either win or you lose. And for me, if you lose, well, then you're a loser at everything, and why even bother at all? So I don't like the word challenge. And I started using the word focus. I changed it to a 30-day health and fitness focus. And that made so much difference in my mind. It was amazing. And I mentioned it to a few other people, and they agreed that calling it a focus really helped them as well. It means you can focus on a specific thing, learn where you're going wrong, learn how to improve it, make adjustments. And it was a learning process rather than the threat of being a loser. That's the way I feel, and I'm going to work with that because it works for me and I like it. I like it a lot. I also learned to be a bit more flexible with my goals. Now, I've already said that I plan to walk 3 to 4 times a week, do the weights 3 to 4 times a week. However, with the fibromyalgia, I only have a certain amount of energy available each day. If I overdo it and I overuse that energy, I end up in a pain flare and utterly exhausted and barely move off the sofa for 3 days until the energy levels build up. It's very difficult. So I've learned that I need to be flexible with how I spend that energy. And going for a walk and doing weights is good. But so is getting out in the garden, spending the day mowing, weeding, digging holes, planting plants, pruning. Spending the day outdoors, active, doing things in the sun, in the fresh air, is in many times more work and better than doing a structured thing like walking or weights. So being flexible is something that I had to adjust my thinking around, because I thought, oh, I haven't been for my walk today, I haven't done my weights today, I can't tick it off on my little, I've got it here, I can't tick it off on my little daily thing. And that's not true, because I did something instead of. So that's going to be something that I will be working on. It's being flexible with the activity. Still doing something, but not necessarily what it's written down as. And I learned a lot about food. I learned to count my calories, which I've done before, but I did it with a bit more intent, is a way to put it, I guess. I did it with a bit more actually thinking and planning. I started counting my macros, which I do believe made a big difference. And I'm going to talk about all this in future videos. I'm just sort of glossing over today because today's my overview. So yeah, I learned to monitor my food, count my macros, count my calories, and what else did I do? Oh, and to eat when I'm hungry, not just because the clock says it's 12 o'clock, you should be having lunch. At 6 o'clock, it's dinner time. I'm having a coffee, so I'd like a biscuit with it. No. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. Just because the clock says it's mealtime, I don't eat. So that is something. And, you know, that is something that we bring with us from our childhood. You know, it's like dinner time, you sit at the table, you eat dinner with the family, you always eat everything that's on your plate. These are things that we carry with us from childhood, and it can lead to weight gain in adulthood. So I'm a grown up now, I can do what I want, and if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat just because it's dinner time. And the other little thing that I do, which I found really helps me a lot, is meal prep. I don't go all out like the crazies that you see on YouTube, as much as I do envy their process, and I will have a go of it. I do want to get some meal prep stuff in the freezer, but generally I just do a very little bit of meal prep. It might be making up a big batch of salad that I can eat over the course of a few days, or in the morning I know what I'll be having for dinner, and I don't want to cook it in the morning, but I get everything out on the counter ready. I'll have the vegetables chopped, the seasonings all lined up, all the utensils on the counter, because that saves time and energy later in the day when I don't have that energy to spend. And when I don't have that energy, that's when I will reach for a quick junk, bad health option. If food is already there by some sort of prepping, good, because I will stick with it. So that's the food aspect of it. Before I go, there is one more thing that I want to talk about, and that is, why am I putting all of this on YouTube? Why am I putting myself through the emotional stress and the potential of being attacked by trolls, and just having so many bad experiences by putting my weight loss journey on YouTube? I'm doing it because when I did my 30-day health and fitness challenge, which became a focus, I got so much support from my viewers, from you people out there. I got so much support, and it really helped me. I'm the sort of person who normally does things on my own. You're not going to believe this because I have a YouTube channel, but I am an introvert, and I am quite a private person, and especially when it's something personal like this. And I'm used to doing things by myself. But the support and the encouragement I got from everybody out there when I did my 30-day thing, I went, wow, this is really helpful. So I'm asking again for your support during this challenging time. I feel like a politician asking for, can I count on your support during this challenging time? But seriously, look, the other thing is that 30-day thing I did, I inspired other people to take on their own 30-day health and fitness challenge. And it was like, oh my God, Karen, people are looking up to you. And that made me, not only did it make me feel really good, it made me stick to it. It made me work harder. It made me honest about what happened that was good, what happened that I failed at, because I was the role model for other people out there. I inspired people to do this thing, I then felt that responsibility to do it right for them. And I felt that was a win for me and a win for them, and it was just such a positive thing. It caught me by surprise. Like even now, you can tell by the way I'm talking about it that it did catch me by surprise. As I said, I'm used to doing things on my own, but to have that support network and to be that motivation for someone else, it was a big responsibility, and I really liked it. So this is what I'm here. I'm asking for your support for me so that I can do the right thing to inspire others. That's why I'm here on YouTube. I can't guarantee that the whole process is going to go smooth and perfect and it's going to be successful. It's going to suck at times. I'm going to have bad days. That's life. But I will always be honest about it. I will always tell you when I've stuffed up. I will always tell you and be proud when I've achieved. And I don't think anyone can ask any more than that. I will always tell you the truth. Which brings us to the end of today's video. Today is just an overview. It has been a longer video than I would normally make. I do prefer to make shorter videos. They're easier for me to make and they're easier for you to watch because no one's got time to sit down and watch a 15, 20, 30-minute video and listen to what someone's saying. I prefer to make shorter videos. So if there's something that I've talked about today, I will be talking about it in future videos, I'm sure. But if there's something in particular you want me to talk about more, leave me a comment down below so I can plan it and be prepared and I can talk about that in the future. And that is me checking my notes to make sure I've covered everything. I was very nervous when I started and now I'm actually feeling quite excited. It is the 1st of January. I have done my weigh-in. I have done my plank for the day. I've got my book ready and I'm going to check in with you in a week's time. Where's January? When I have filled in my week. I will check in with you at the end of week 1. Yeah, I'll check in with you at the end of the week 1. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm ready to go. I will see you again in a week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. If you know anyone who might enjoy my video, let them know. Let's do this together. I'll see you in a week.